Holy cow. What? Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Heck Yeah Adventures. Today we're in the greenhouse. I'm going to tell you guys how to build a greenhouse for under $1,000. Full aquaponics system, but this is a hybrid aquaponics system. I'm going to explain the hybrid version right now. But check out these plants. They're doing absolutely amazing. I've got a ton of tomatoes coming on. These are, I can't even tell you. If you've never had a tomato greenhouse, or a greenhouse tomato that you've grown, so good. So, spit that all over the place. Okay. Start of any system, you guys, is going to be your tank. Now, this system has 2 tanks, but I'm going to explain why I did that. So, this is the fish. Feed the fish for you real quick, see if they come up. I just fed them this morning, so they might not come up. Oh yeah, there's a few. I've got fish in here. Some of these fish are 1 pound to 2 pound fish. So some of them are big. But start off, standard IBC tank. You can get these IBC tanks, Facebook Marketplace. I see them all the time for $100. You have to make sure they are water cleanable. They cannot have pesticides. So in other words, they need to be food friendly. So you can find them, you guys, just keep your eye out. And then a couple of these barrels. I have 2. I have 1 high, 1 low, and I'll show you why in just 1 second. But that's important because everything here, like I said, is gonna be under $1,000. Now, you start with your IBC tank, which is here. And then that IBC tank, really importantly, needs 2 outlets, which is, this is a 2-pump system. You don't want to do anything less than 2 pumps. The reason is because you're going to go out of town one of these days, and you're going to have a breaker that goes off, and one of your pumps is going to be hooked to one breaker, and one of them is going to be hooked to another breaker. That goes off, you still got 1 pump working, and your system's not going to kill your fish. I've done that 4 times over the last 10 years. You go out of town and for whatever reason a pump goes off, you killed basically 6 to 8 months worth of fish that you've raised. So 2 pumps, very, very importantly. Now, this is also, I found this pump on Facebook Marketplace, but the pumps that I'm running right here are DC. I'll put a picture in the description here about these pumps, but they're DC pumps. They are very good on electricity and pretty inexpensive. But here's where it goes. So you go tank, 2 pumps, both of them go up here. They go down this pipe. Now this pipe right here, this can actually be a grow bed as well. I don't have anything in there right now, but lettuce grows really good in there. It's too hot in the summer to grow up there, so I'll put all my plants in there in the fall. But they go under this barrel, which this is growing duckweed. This is what I feed the fish. That pipe goes to the bottom of the barrel, so in essence it pumps out all this, goes to the bottom of the barrel, and then it comes out into here. And this pipe goes along this run. I don't know if you can see the fish here. These are ones that I raised this year. So this run stays really clean because all that pumps into the other filter. But goes into here, comes down to the bottom of the barrel, and then basically pumps up. And then here is what makes that hybrid, you guys. This is something that not a lot of, in fact, I've never seen it done before until I started doing this. This is what makes this system hybrid. This is a drip system. Along this pipe, I put a lot of little holes in the bottom of this pipe, and this drips all day long. So this drips and then it ends up in here. This is one of my other filters. I have the pump off right now so it won't be so noisy. But this pumps out into here. That pumps out of here, because that is a bell siphon. And so this is the circular system. So everything goes from there, goes in that filter, in this filter, and then ends back in the tank. So that's the whole system in a nutshell. Like I said, this is what makes it the hybrid. This is why this system is so unique, because these plants are run 100%. I'd water them a little bit here, but these plants get dripped all day long, and that is nutrient-rich food that the plants eat from the fish. Check out these tomatoes, you guys. It's amazing what you can do with this system. Now, this is just dirt. That is 100% dirt up against the building. You can see I put a little galvanized metal lip so it doesn't rot up against my building. But this is dirt. That's the one thing that I hated about aquaponics is the grow media. I love the grow media, and I didn't have enough room to do one in this greenhouse, but I could grow more stuff on dirt. And that's the difference between my systems and everybody else's. Everybody else says, hey, you have to do that. Well, I can still filter right here. I can still filter the water, and I have a drain underneath here, right there. I have a drain where I use the solids, so I collect the solids and put them into my other garden. But guys, look at this. And I'm telling you, like, these things are doing so well. It's middle of July in the desert, and I'm growing amazing tomatoes. I've got some onions. I needed to cut that. I've got basil. I've got, oh, there is some, what else is in there? There's some tomatoes right there. There's lots of different things in here. Herbs. Oh, right there. Some more basil. Oh, it smells so good, you guys. Oh, right there. Peppermint. Best peppermint in the world comes from aquaponics. So, that's the system in a nutshell. If you can see right here, all I've done is I've got galvanized steel studs, and this is polycarbonate. And the polycarbonate is #1, the most expensive part of the whole greenhouse. The polycarbonate actually cost me $500 in itself. Everything else in this greenhouse was another $500. So that's what makes it under $1,000. You guys can do this. I want you to try it, because how many of you guys were kids, had goldfish, loved to watch the goldfish? I never grew up. I figured out a way I can use those fish to grow plants. Now, we're gonna go, as I grab another one of these awesome flavored tomatoes, I'm gonna show you my big fish. So this is the difference between my aquaponic systems as well, is I built this shop, and one of the things, I just finished my house, but I built this shop for my business. But you guys check this out. I got I think it's 320 gallon aquarium given to me. Now, you gotta look at this. This is 3/4 inch thick acrylic tank. These things are like $2 grand if you had to buy them. Somebody gave this thing to me. It was somebody local. They wanted to get it out of their garage. They had bought it from a pet store. So I actually got this for free. You can find an aquarium on Facebook Marketplace, but this is my breeder tank. It's full of bigger fish right now. I've got to separate them because we're gonna start having babies here in the next month. The temperature's warm enough and everything's good, but I'll show you guys. As a kid, I loved having fish in a fish tank. This is my fish tank on steroids. Check this out. Some of these fish are probably 1 to 3 pounds. There's one in here. There's 2 males in here that are gigantic. Like, oh my goodness. Right there. That guy right there. You can't see it very good. The glare's bad, but he's right up against the glass. Right there. Now these fish, like I said, they're tropical fish. They like the kind of the pondy water. I am gonna be doing maintenance on this video as well. So what you do, you basically, you can take this tank right here. I drain most of the water out of this. I'll take my broom and I'll scrub the sides really, really well. But check this out. This is my favorite time to feed these bad boys. They go crazy together. Sorry about this. It's kind of bad video, but oh yeah, that's him right there. That fish right there is probably a good 3 pounds. There he is. So this is raising your own food. That's one of the reasons I do this. It's fun, but this is raising your own food. If something ever happened, we have probably a couple 100 pounds of food in here. We've got outside my greenhouse, another probably 100 pounds. They're smaller fish, but yeah, check him out. He is huge. This is my hand, and he's twice as big as my hand. Show you how this all works. So when I got this tank given to me, they just said come get it. It had all these holes already cut, but I actually had to take the plumbing, you can see from my pipe, I had to take the plumbing and change it because this was a saltwater tank. But you can see right over here, right in the corner, I've taken this pipe and I've hooked this to my aquaponics system. So this is literally part of the aquaponics system. Those pumps from inside the big tank come in through the wall, right over here. They come through here. They feed all the water to this tank. This tank in return has a bunch of drains. I don't know if you can see them, but they have a bunch of drains, skimmer drains. So that water circulates in here, kind of makes a big circle. I've got it all plumbed to where the water goes and ends up in these little drains. And then it goes back into that big filter. So that big drum filter filters all the water, goes back in there, and then it eventually goes back into the big tank in the greenhouse. So this is a closed loop system. But what's the funnest part about this, I can keep this water inside my shop in the wintertime because these fish require warm water, but I can use my stove here. I can use that stove, heat this in the wintertime. That water will get heated. So the water, 320 gallons will get heated here. And then that goes inside the greenhouse, which my greenhouse doors are shut so it doesn't get too cold anyway. But that's the system in a nutshell. I'm going to clean this tank out and I'm gonna pull one of these fish out for you. You're gonna love this. So I am going to start a siphon. So I just take and turn on my hose. And I've got this inside the fish tank. So that's giving me some water. That hose goes to the fish tank. And then now, try to do this on camera. Shut off the water. Unhook this right here. And this will start a siphon coming out of my fish tank. If I can do this quick enough. So that right there is going to be fish water. And then I'm gonna take it and run it into my greenhouse so I don't waste it, but I want to get a good stream going right now. But if you check out where it's going, So like I said, I'm gonna drain 3/4 of this tank. Now keep in mind, you don't wanna do a complete drain on your system because there's a lot of good stuff that's in your system, like the microbes and different things in your system you don't wanna drain out. But I like to clean off the sides. One, it doesn't hurt them to live like this. This isn't hurting them at all. But I like to be able to look at them when I come in the morning. I want it to look clean. So I like it to be clean, but you don't want it so clean that your plants aren't gonna get the nutrients they need. So I'm gonna continue doing that. I'm gonna drain this tank, and then I'm going to scrub the sides with the broom, and then clean out the water, and I'm gonna catch one of these fish. I'm gonna catch that big one. Show you how big he is. Now I'm draining this tank. I take a just soft bristle brush, this broom, and that's what I'm gonna clean the sides with. So I'm gonna take this right here and I'm gonna scrub. So one thing that it's gonna do, it's gonna get these sides, all that green stuff on the side of the tank. Like I said, I don't necessarily want to get rid of all the stuff that's in the tank, and as you can tell, the tank's really not that dirty. There's not a lot of poop that catches on the bottom, because really those filters, those blue tank filters, do a lot of the solid removal. This is just removing all the stuff from the side of this tank. And so I'm gonna do this. This is the boring part, but I'm gonna do this and then get back with you and show you what the difference is. All right, so here is some fish I caught. I had to get them off camera, but check out these beautiful fish. Fat, huge. These aren't even some of the big ones. Look at that. Holy cow. That's about a pound, 3/4 pounder. But look how pretty these things are. Really healthy. I'm gonna put them back. There you go. You can grow that inside your house, right inside your shop. These were just tiny little babies when I put them in about a year ago. So this is about a year old. Put them back in the tank. All right, well, I got him. I got one of those two big ones. There's a little guy, but check out this. Holy cow, he's huge. See if I can lift him up. I mean, he is massive. You can grow this in 1 year. Look at this. Grow this in 1 year at your own place. Look at that. Holy cow. He's actually gonna go into my other place because it's not good to have one huge male fighting with the other one. So he's got the other home right there. Check out that. Holy cow. What? See you later, buddy. I'm going to show you how awesome a clean tank looks. Check this out. Now you can really see them. So a little bit of maintenance goes a long ways all I did was, like you said, like I showed you yesterday, I just scrubbed the sides. I did a 3/4 water change, and now you can see all these things. Check that out. I did separate a few of them. So one thing with these type of fish, you can actually see they will change colors. Like that one right there, that is a male. Once the water, I up the water temperature so they can start having babies. So probably one of the, if you want to raise your own fish, the water temperature makes all the difference in the world. I'm to a point now where the water temperature is going to be perfect, and they're going to start laying eggs and put them in their mouths. See if anybody has already put some in their mouths. Nope, not yet. So once water temperature is higher for about a week, they'll start laying eggs, and they'll put the eggs in their mouth, and you'll be able to tell. Right now, you can see them opening and closing their mouths, but the ones that are gonna have babies, they will start, in fact, this one right here. There you go. So she has laid eggs and put them in her mouth. She turned colors. Oh, actually no, she had babies. She is fighting the other fish. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize. But this one right here has had babies. You can see these little tiny fry. She has babies, and she's fighting all these other fish off of her babies. So what they'll do, they'll change colors like that, and then they'll fight all the fish off of her babies. So I need to catch her. I need to catch her because she'll keep those fry in her mouth until she thinks they're safe. And then she'll fight them off. So check this out. She will fight off every one of these other fish to protect her babies. And when they think that she's, there's one right there. You can see it really close. That little baby fry. Oh, there's a ton of little baby fries. So I missed this hatch, but this fish already had babies. You can already see them. What'll happen is she'll protect all her babies from these other fish, and until I take those babies out, she will literally be protecting them. And there is a ton of little babies, as you can see. Normally, like I said, I like to gather the eggs. Oh yeah, she's getting after them. I like to gather these eggs before she has babies, but you can see there is a ton of babies surrounding her. So I need to catch her and the babies and put them in another pen, and they'll live. Otherwise, those other fish will eat the babies. One got past me. Hey everybody, so while we're talking fish and backyard and stuff, I'm gonna show you what I've got going in the back of the shop. This is in between me and my neighbor's property. So the smallest of spaces can bring the most fun. But yeah, this is the chicken coop and the rabbit coop. The rabbit hutch, I guess. So I've got 4 feet of property in back of my shop here, where literally I have all my chickens. These chickens do really well out here. It's kind of a mess right now and I feel bad, but I feed all my weeds, everything. Like my old squash goes for the rabbits, but yeah, got a small space. If you look right here, I've got 3 of those IBC tanks for water storage. I've built some massive, basically headers to support all the weight. But what this does is, this is concrete, and this is my building. It stays really cool in this area. So it's good for the rabbits when it gets hot in the summertime. Great for the rabbits to stay cool, and then the chickens the same. So, but check this out. How many of you guys would love to come in your backyard and grab some eggs? Right there. fresh eggs every single day. I love it. Come out here and grab some fresh eggs out of the chicken coop. Anyway, I will be doing a full episode on just kind of the whole raising food for your family in a small space. But yeah, I wanted to give you a little bit of just kind of insight. You can do it anywhere, you guys.